Okay, so first of all, thank you very much for sharing the link of this video, and welcome to this channel, the name of which is Gaurav Kumar Jain. Fine. So today we are going to learn about how can we define animation effects using HTML and CSS codes. So this is the platform that we are going to make use of. It is the Weblab. Of course, you guys know about it very well. So it's available on this code.org website. Fine. And now the link which is there in between this head tag, it is actually linking this HTML with this CSS file. Fine, so I'm going to come on this CSS file and let's eliminate everything whatever we have inside the CSS file. And now I'm going to search for a relevant background on Google. So let's search for an animated mountain sunshine background. Okay, GIF. Let's come on this Google Images. So if you'll type something like this in the search bar of Google, these are some of the beautiful images you're going to come across. So let's make use of one of these images over here. How about this one? This is looking cool, right? Now let's check out this one. Okay, this one is nice. Let's copy the image address of this image. So how can you do that? You just have to right click on this image and automatically you're going to come across this beautiful cascading menu. Now you can hit this copy image address and automatically the link of this image is going to get copied on the clipboard. Now come on this code.org platform and then here inside the CSS file you can make use of this property named body. Okay, so we are going to define a background for the body's part of this HTML document, right? So which property can you make use of for accessing this image over here in the body section of this HTML document? So this is the name of the property, background. Remember this thing. And how can you access that image using the image address? So URL, uniform resource locator, right? So this is the attribute that you guys can make use of. And now in between these two round brackets, you can write down, you can paste the whole URL which you just copied, okay, and then place a semicolon like this. Fine. Now how would you like to see this image on this HTML document? So background, let's make use of background size. So I would like it to cover the whole background, so that is the reason I am selecting cover from here, and let's make this overflow as hidden. Fine. Now when you'll refresh this page, this is what you're going to see. So the background is visible to us over here, right? It is getting reflected on this output window. Okay, now let's check out what else can we get from this Google Images. So I need to search for a walking man GIF PNG animated. Okay, so let's check out this one. Okay, this one seems pretty cool, right? Let's copy the image address of this image and come back on the CSS window. Now here I am going to define this thing, man. So this is the ID part which I'm going to define for a div section that I will be defining in between these two body tags. So let's do that first. Let's define a division tag over here and let's pass the ID man for this division tag. Okay, and I am then closing this division. Okay, Now let's come back on this style.css. Now how can I style this division section? So we can make use of this man, okay, which I have passed as a value for the ID part of this division here. So how can you access that men using this hash thing? Okay, just place hash before the ID name, and after that you can place these two curly brackets, and inside this you can pass whatever values you want to pass for whatever properties you want to play with of this division section. So let's pass first the position where you would like to see that men. So I would like to see it at a relative position, so it should relate to this background. Okay, then top. So uh, from this top part, at which point would you like to see it? So I would like to, let's pass 600 pixels for this. Okay, and then we need to, how can we bring that men on this output window? So what we can do, we can make use of this whole thing that we have made use of for bringing this background image on this output window. I'm putting it over here, and inside this URL part I am going to define this image address of this men. Let's put it inside this. Okay, and now width, let's define the width for this. So width I am defining 190 pixel. Okay, and height, let's make it 200 pixels. So this is the height and width of the image of that men, right? Okay, let's refresh this. So right now this is what you are going to see as an output. That men is not visible to us right now, but don't worry, as soon as we'll apply the animation, it will appear to be visible to us on this beautiful animated window. So how can we apply an animation on this men? So the attribute that you guys can make use of is this @ keyframes. Remember this thing. Keyframes are used for basically defining animations on different objects that you have made use of or that you have got on a particular HTML window or HTML document. So let's make use of this walking underscore animation. Okay, so this is a name that I've given to this animation, right? Walking underscore animation, and in between these two curly brackets I would like to have 0%. Fine. So first of all I am going to define the background position. Let's search for background position. So this is the one, and let's pass a value for this background position. So I would like to see it coming from this side. Okay, that is the reason I have defined 0 pixels over here. Let's now define 100% over here, and so I would like to see finally the background position, this 3000 pixels. So this is going to help us in making that men appear to the user as if it is moving. Alright, so let's now define this animation part. Let's apply this walking animation to this men over here. How can we do that? So for doing that, what we guys can do, we can make use of this animation. Okay, just a second, I haven't placed semicolon over here. Yeah, now it is fine. Here also I need to place semicolon. Yeah, now it is perfectly fine. Now I'm going to make use of this animation property, and let's apply this animation property to this. So it is walking animation, right? But it is already, this pic is already walking. So do we require this? No problem. Let's do one thing. Let's copy this whole thing and put it over here like this. Okay, now I'm going to define the animation with which we can make the men moving in along x-axis. Okay, so for that let's make use of some other name move underscore forward. Okay, and here I am going to define, let's make use of transform property. So there is a property called transform with which you can make the things moving, right? And because I want to see it moving along x-axis, so that is the reason translate x we will be using for doing the same. And it will be coming from this side, from the left side, and I would like to see it moving towards the right side. So here I need to pass a negative value, because initially I don't want to see it getting reflected on this window, right? So that is the reason I've passed negative value. So it will be completely it will not be visible to the user initially, but gradually when the position will change, it will be visible to the user. Now I'm going to copy this whole thing from here, and let's put it over here like this. Transform translate x, and then let's pass a value, and I'm going to pass a positive value now. So 1326 pixel I'm passing over here. Okay, and now how can we apply this animation on this min? So what we can do, we can make use of this animation attribute, and let's define the animation. So the name of the animation is move forward, that we guys would like to use for this min. Okay, that we guys would like to apply on this min. Then after every 5 seconds it should be applied, and in linear way I would like to see it moving, and infinite, okay, infinite number of times it should be applied on this min. Let's refresh this code, refresh this output window, and check out the output. So is that man visible to us right now? Let's do one thing, let's open it on a new tab. So I'm copying the link from here and I'm putting it over here. Let's check out whether that man will be visible to us walking on this beautiful animated screen or not. As you can see, this man is it is appearing on this window, and it is moving along the x-axis. See, so that's how you can animate the characters. That's how you can define the animations using simple HTML and CSS coding. Now what is happening over here, this background, so it is coming from this URL part which we have defined right on the top. Why it is covering the whole window? Just because I have defined this cover for this background size. Now we don't require this thing. Okay, if it would had been some simple sprites, collection of sprites, then this animation, walking animation, would be required. Now because it is already an animated GIF image, so we don't require this thing. We just have to make it move forward. So this is the only thing that we require for now. So transform, remember this word transform, okay, and translate. So we guys make use of translate with transform generally in order to make a thing moving along the x-axis. Now if you'll pass 1326 pixel over here, and here if you'll pass minus 100 pixel, let's see what are we going to get. So I'm saving this code first. Let's refresh this screen and check out what are we going to get as an output. Now see, it has started moving in the backward direction. See, so this way you need to understand every line of code first, and then only you will be able to design something new. Right, now if you want to define some street also over here, so how can you do that? Come on this HTML page, and here what you can do, you can define one more division for the street part. So let's make it street. Let's come on this CSS window. Okay, and here I am, the way I've defined this hash main, okay, in the same way I'm going to define this hash street over here. Fine. Now position will be again relative, okay, and then from the top side it should be, so for this men we have passed 600 pixels, right? So the same value we are going to pass for this street also. And let's define a border, bottom border, okay, because we would like to see a border in the bottom, not on the top or on the sides. So that is the reason border bottom is required. Now I am going to pass a value for this. Let's pass 5 pixels. And then what kind of border? It should be groove, and let's pass a color for this border, so it will be of black color. Now let's refresh and save this code and run this on a new tab. So I'm refreshing this HTML code now. Is that street visible or not? That street is not visible, right? Why it is not visible, that's what we have to check out. This is perfectly fine. Okay, this position is relative, top 600 pixels, border bottom it is 5 pixels. Now if I'll make it 50 pixels, let's see what are we going to get. Perfect. Still that is not, the street is not visible to me. Why is it so? Am I missing anything over here? ID is a street. This is perfectly fine. Position, border bottom 50 px, groove, then it is black. If I'll eliminate this groove from here, let's see what is going to happen. Why is that street not visible to us? I think maybe because of this background, you know. I think because of this background, maybe it is too dark, too light, or border. Okay, I think that border, just because you know this the way the background is defined, or just because of the background, that border is not visible to us. But you know, in this way you can define the border also, you know, which is going to appear as if there is a street on which this person is walking, right? So that's how you can make use of this add keyframes attribute in order to give some animations to the object that you have on an HTML document. Fine, hope you guys liked this lecture a lot. Do share the video in your group so that more and more students can come and join my channel. If you have any query, you guys are most welcome to ask me the same. Thank you very much, Anup, for sharing the video, dear. Divyanshu Prakash, hi beta. Subhash Das, hello beta. Then Somil Das, hello dear. How can we give animation effects to HTML CSS? I think you have already got the answer to of your question. Thank you very much, Akriti, for sharing the video here. In case you come across any issue while practicing this thing practically, definitely you can reach out to me using the comment section. Just write down your issue in the comment box. Definitely I'm going to reply to the same as soon as possible. Thank you very much for joining me and attending this lecture. Have a great day. Bye bye.